Good evening and welcome to our live crafting this evening. My name's Jenny McCormack and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire here in the UK. Thank you for joining me. If you are here live, do say hi. It's always lovely to know who's watching with us. And if you're watching on replay or catch up, you can pop any questions or comments either in the Facebook comment section if you're watching on Facebook, and if you're watching on YouTube, then you can pop that in the comment section in YouTube. You do have to be logged in to be able to do that, but on Facebook you can just put a comment without requiring you to log in anywhere. So good evening to you. This is the first week of my new regime for Facebook Lives, so it's quite strange not to have been here for a couple of days, but if you watched my video on Monday or the subsequent replay, then you'll know that I've changed things round, and so for the time being, and certainly throughout the summer, I will be live here on a Monday morning UK time at 10 AM, and I will be showing the card design for our coffee and card sessions that are running that week, and then I will carry on making cards during the week, but I won't be doing those live, but I will be sharing those with you on a Thursday evening. And then I'll do some live crafting of one or two projects to finish the week off on a Thursday, and both of those videos will be uploaded to YouTube. So our stamp set of the week is this one here. It's called, as you can see, Inked and Tiled, and there are two punches that go with it that don't really appear to have anything to do with the stamps in particular, but the sentiments for the stamps fit the punches, and obviously you can do lots of things with the punches, and you could stamp a panel and then use the punches to punch those out, of course. So there are two punches, one is a star and one is a cross, and they come as a pair. And you can buy the two punches for £38. The stamp set is 26, but you can buy both of those together in a bundle for £57.50. This is a red rubber stamp set, and I popped the labels on the back already, so it has the foam on there. And let me show you, there are some papers that go with this as well, which I showed on Monday. I haven't got many left because we rather decimated them during Coffee and Card, but you can see some of these here, and so they're really lovely colours, so slightly unusual in that we have vanilla, Calypso Coral, crushed curry, Lost Lagoon and Pool Party. That's the colour combination, and there's some solid sides and there's floral and foliage sides, but they're not overtly feminine, I would say, mainly I think because of the colour choice. So there's plenty of papers there. There are 48 in the pack, and there are 12 different designs, and there's 4 of each design. So we are going to be using the papers today, and we did use the papers for our coffee and card, and you can find these in our annual catalogue, and I believe it is page 95. There's a nice double page spread. Let me just grab my catalogue to show you. So find page 95, and if you haven't got one of these catalogues and you're here in the UK or Ireland, and you don't have a demonstrator that you deal with, then just message me and I can send you a catalogue in the post. So this is the inked Botanicals collection. So as you can see, we have the stamp set. We have the stamp set with the punches, and we have the papers, and we also have this lovely Lost Lagoon ribbon, and it's called Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. It's got a very fine stitching along the edge, but it's really pretty and a sort of linen feel to it. What do they say it's made of? Does it give us a clue? 100% polyester, so it's not linen, but it has a real nice linen feel to it, and that's really pretty. So I'm going to incorporate that in one of my cards this evening. Okay, so you can find those on page 94-95, and there's lots of samples here as well on how to use those. Okay, so let me show you the cards that I've made so far this week. So quite a different collection using the papers and the punches and some of the sentiments. So we have this one that we did for coffee and card. So if you join me for that, you'll recognise that one. This is the same thing but in portrait variation, and it also has a circle behind it just to make that stand out. Then I made this one, and this was inspired by Sarah Douglas, who is our CEO of the company Stampin Up, and she did a pattern where the pieces went across the paper. I think hers was in portrait, and she had actually added some flowers on, and I just used two colours here, Azure Afternoon and what is that? Is it Pool Party? Yes, it is Pool Party. It just looks different like that. And I used the matching designer paper to go with it. Added a few sequins in and just a thank you. When I was playing with just the punches, I thought it would be fun to use the in colours that run 2022 to 2024. So these are those in colours, and I also wanted to add some embossing. So these four panels here, I don't know if you can see them, are embossed. This is the cane weave, and then these three are using the Basics embossing folders, which are one of our online exclusives. I can't see any comments or anybody joining on my Facebook on my computer, as always. So apologies if you've joined us and have commented and I've not acknowledged your comments. I do apologise. Oh, hi Lynn. Lynn's just popped on, so that was handy. At least I know that we are live. So there is that one. So I just literally cut the crosses and the stars. I put those flat, and then I added these three on top, having embossed them first. And then I just added a stitched circle on the top with a sentiment, which is hello. And then I created this one here. So I stepped it up. I'm not sure how much of this you can see. So I used some of the papers and also some of the papers from the Irresistible Blooms. And this is Soft Sea Foam Lost Lagoon. And there's the that lovely Lost Lagoon ribbon. So this is Just Wanted to Say, and I've splattered some glue on there and then popped gold embossing powder on, and then I've heated that up. Thank you, Lynn. So just wanted to say, and then I added some sequins on top of that. So I was really pleased with that. And the background, I just took the plain backing card and I stamped it with the Lost Lagoon ink, and I use the little dots from little, they're quite big, from Irresistible Blooms, and you could use that as well for the gold embossing, but I wanted a more eclectic look, so I just literally took some liquid glue and just sort of splattered it across this panel here, and then I heat set it after adding some gold embossing powder. So those are the ones that I have done so far, and I've got 2 more designs for you for this evening, actually using the stamp set rather than just the sentiments. So this is the stamp set here. So for my first card, I'm taking the inspiration from the papers. So this paper is interesting in that it uses white and vanilla, so you can choose whichever you prefer. So I've selected and cut a very vanilla card base. I've then got a layer of Lost Lagoon card that's going to go on there, so this is 1/2 centimetre smaller. I've then got a layer of the designer paper from the same series. I've cut a layer of Calypso Coral, and I've cut a piece out of that because I was going to use it for the sentiment, but I'm not sure that I am now. And then I've got a very vanilla layer here that I'm going to do my stamping and also my sentiment on, and hopefully I'm going to add in some of this lovely Lost Lagoon ribbon. Really is pretty. So I'm going to use some of the colours from here. So I have my Stampin' Up markers, I've got Lost Lagoon, I've got Calypso Coral, and I've currently got Daffodil Delight because I haven't ordered the new Regals, and I have got Crushed Curry, but I need to dig it out, so I thought I'll just go with Daffodil Delight. And what I'm going to do is ink up the stamp with the marker pens. So I've got this one here and this one here, so this one can be added on anywhere you like. Let's grab this slightly bigger block, and I cut these layers out with our lovely decal edge dies so that they go in increasing or decreasing sizes, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is going to go off the bottom, which is what I want. I don't like things to sort of start in the middle. And then I might do this and add another little one on there. And I was hoping to put my sentiment on there, so maybe I need to angle it and then put this one in here. Not 100% sure on that. Let me grab a piece of grid paper. So I hope you're well then. Looking forward to catching up with you next week. Okay. So I'm going to stamp this one first, and I'm going to take the colours directly from the papers. For my second card, you're going to choose the colours for me. So for the stalk, I've got Lost Lagoon. So I'm using the brush tip, and you want to angle it on the side. And I've got the stalk and the leaves, like so. There we go. And then I'm going to add a Calypso Coral. And as I said, a Daffodil Delight. It's only because I'm keeping my new Stampin' Up markers separate from the old ones, and I was too lazy to go hunting through to find my Crushed Curry one. So I'm going to breathe on this just like you would your glasses, and I'm going to pop this in on here. There we go. Okay, so it has a real arty look to it, almost sort of watercolour effect. If I bring that up, hopefully you can see that. And so that mimics the papers. So I'm going to add this little stalk in here, and while I'm here actually I'm going to stamp the inside of the card. So let me do that with that same combination. I'm just going to stamp this in the bottom right hand corner, and I'm also going to do the same for the envelope. So I might as well do that all in one. There we go. So this was Calypso Coral. And just be careful not to overlap a lighter pen with the darker ink. You don't want to be picking up a dark ink, for example, on your lighter pen. But if you do, just use it on your paper and just get rid of any excess ink that's got transferred. Okay, so just going to breathe on that again, and I'm just doing this on the right hand edge. And I know I didn't need to colour the whole stamp in, but I find it's as easy to do that, and then you don't have to worry about the fact you've got, you know, the right side or the wrong side or something. I'm going to do the same for my envelope on the left hand side. So it's a really sort of pretty watercolour effect. Okay, so there's my Lost Lagoon. Again, I know I don't really need to do the whole thing. And you could do this on watercolour paper and spritz a little bit of water over it, and you'll get quite a different look. But we had fun at Coffee and Card with the punches. There we go. So there's my envelope. Now this set also has some really attractive leaves. So if you had any small gaps, you could use the tips of the leaves, or you could use this little bud. I'm going to add the bud onto here, which I put down somewhere. Maybe I didn't get it out. Okay. Well, it's here somewhere. Because I had it out, didn't I? Have I knocked it on the floor? Anybody see where I put it? There it is. Found it. Okay, might as well just use this one here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use a little bit of this at the bottom and for the base of that little bud. And I've got to balance it with the daffodil that should be crushed curry. And I'm just going to pop that in here, like so. A little bit over the edge, but my ribbon's going to go around there, funnily enough. Right, I can pop it on here as well. So I'll just do that really quickly. So it's an interesting colour combination that I wouldn't have put together, but it works. Yes, that's the right colour. There we go. So there's my envelope. And then that one's okay as it is. And the inside of my card. I might just do the stalk. Just so it's coming off the edge here, like that. There we go. Okay, so there's my base card. There is my layer. This is going to go onto my Calypso Coral layer, and I'm going to wrap that lovely Lost Lagoon ribbon around, so that will cover up my little over stamp there where I stamped it a little bit too far over. Okay, so I'm going to put this flat onto here, and as I said, I did cut this out, so I'm just going to put some tape around the edge. Have you got this set, Lynn, I wonder? I think this would work in any colours, and I think you could make a nice mail card as well with it if you just change the colours out to blues and browns. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that round there. Just put a little bit of tape to hold it. So I say this is the deckled edge dies, and then I might put a little pretend bow on there and have a look and see. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I don't want to overdo it. Oh, well done then. Hi Diane. Thanks for joining us. Right, I'm going to grab some baker's twine, which I tied it up. Where did I put it? I put it in a box, and I remember thinking, I need to mark that baker's twine, and now I'm ashamed. Right, give me 1 second. What if it's this one? Yes. Okay, so I'm thinking rather than too much ribbon, maybe, so I don't want, definitely don't want white, but I'm thinking just a little bit of that natural baker's twine would be good. So I'm in the middle of preparing all of the kits for next week's card class, which I'm really looking forward to, and our class in a box. So I'm just going to thread that under here. And so I've just doubled it up. Like so. Let's tie that into a bow. I'll lift it up and show you. There we go. So I'll undo that, just want to show you how that looks, and then just trim those pieces off. Okay, so I can attach this to my card base, so that's going to go onto there. So be thinking about a colour combination for another card. I don't really mind what it is, but I want to stamp the flowers across the bottom with the leaves. Okay, so this panel is going to go on the top, and I'm just going to look and see if this Hello Friend would fit in there, which would be really nice if it did. Slightly more space on the left. I think I'll get away with that, and if I don't, I'll put it on another piece. Right, let's find a small block, smaller block, and I'm going to stamp this in Lost Lagoon. I'm pleased to say that all of my inks, bar two, are back in their places after our customer day on Sunday, where I think all bar about 6 ink pads were taken with me. Okay, if this doesn't work, I will stamp it on another piece and cut it out. Just want to see how straight that is to the stamp. Oh yes, it's quite straight. So I hope you're feeling better, Diane. Okay, there we go. Hello Friend. Tuck that away. And then this is going to go on here, and I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. I've got some odd pieces here. That's Squirrel Cat arriving. See. So I'm just using those up, and I'll pop a small piece in the middle. There we go. So it's just really pretty papers and a pretty stamp set. Okay, so that's going to go just slightly high rather than fully central. So there's our card. Let's see what it says. Oh, quiet day. Oh, enjoyed sitting in the sun. It was a bit variable today though, wasn't it? The sun was definitely in and out. Right, let me see. I've got some of these little dots. These are actually retired, Fine Sparkle, but this green is perfect. So let's just pick up a few of those. Oh, I could have put some gold on, I suppose, but let's do. And these are nice because they're nice and flat. There we go. So there's our first card. So using the papers as the background and then stamping the main image on this decal edge. And it does help if I actually stick it down though. Oh dear. Okay. Right, so some wet glue onto here. I'm going to touch it. Hi Fran. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. So inked and tiled is our stamp set that we're using. And I'll show you the other cards I've made as well at the end. So that's our first card. So just using the papers really for the colour choice and the design. The next one I want to do is going to feature these lovely, almost like skeleton leaves, and this flower, and then this bud. So I'd love some ideas as to colour, and I have in my mind, no, I'm not going to say what I have in my mind. You tell me what colours you would like me to do. I'm actually going to work on a white panel, so it's completely different to this one, which by the way has a matching envelope and inner. So I'd love you to shout out a colour combination for the leaves and the flowers. Let me just get these ready. So this is the little flower head, like so, and I'll just wipe this other one down. So any suggested colours? As long as they're current, I should have them behind me. Clear that out of the way, and my ribbon. You can see Diane said hello to you. So any suggestions for colours? Really it's the leaf and the flower, so two colours would work, or three. Lilac and peach, says Diane. And what about the colours of the leaves? So lilac and peach. So I've got petal pink and fresh freesia. And what about the leaf colours? A mint colour. So let's have a look. I've got soft sea foam, might be too light. We'll see. We'll give them a go and see. So let me grab a scrap piece of paper, if I can find one. This one will do. And just see what these are going to look like. So I'm going to try soft sea foam for the leaves, but I might need to go one darker. Whoops. So my plan is to stamp the leaves across the bottom. Oh, that's pretty. Like so. And just bring it up to the screen. It's really nice because it's skeleton-like, so gives a really soft effect. So that will work better than I thought. And then I've got fresh freesia and petal pink. So, not quite sure which way round. Let's just try this. Yeah, that definitely works, doesn't it? So that's the fresh freesia. And then, if I grab my pens, I've got soft sea foam and petal pink. So I'm going to show you a slightly different way to do this, which is I can ink up the very top of my stamp like so, and then use the pen for the bottom. Let's see what this looks like. Yes. I'm thinking, oh, I don't know, I think it will work. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's use our actual piece now. So, let's grab our leaves back. Let's move this over. So I can have these going at an angle. Like so. And then a bit of space and coming across like that. And light, just add in another leaf there. Okay, and if I want to, I can add some more onto that. And while I've got my card, I'm going to pop that on the inside. And I think I might just do these all along the bottom because I think these are really pretty. And the nice thing is, because it's a watercolour sort of skeleton look, if you miss a little bit, nobody will know. Just going to fill in a few gaps. There we go. So there's the inside of our card. Hopefully you can see that's just got the leaves on it. Okay. Right, let's come back to this. So now we're going to use our fresh freesia with this flower here. And this has got a sort of gap, so this makes it quite nice to sort of fit that in around the leaves. So I'm going to have one there, one in here, and then one just going, I could have it down here, just going off the edge, like so. So that's our fresh freesia layer. I do wonder whether to switch this for bubble bath rather than the peach. What do you think? So it becomes more pink than peach. You have the final call, Diane, because you chose the colours. While we're deliberating on that, I am going to stamp my sentiment in there. I'm just going to make this a thank you card. Try that, she says. Okay, I'll try it on our little panel, see what you think, see which you prefer. And I need this one just cleaned off. So just using our chamois for that. So I have a bubblegum pen. I could have used the ink pad, but as the pen was here in the set, and here. Okay. Let's put this one up here. Yeah, I think I prefer the pink, if that's alright with you. You could obviously do it really bold. Diane's just ordered the bubble bath ink pad. It's so pretty, and it's been a while since we've had a really nice soft pink. We've had quite sort of grey pinks, if that makes any sense, slightly muddy pinks in my personal opinion. Okay, so let's add these in. So I'm just going to use the pens as I've got them to hand. Oh, and my sentiment. Right, let's put the sentiment in first. And I want to take it darker because it's quite a fine sentiment. So I'm going to try Highland Heather. They look lovely together, don't they? Yeah. When it's a really fine sentiment, you want to choose, I'm just going to make sure this is straight. You want to choose a slightly darker ink, otherwise it won't stand out. There we go, there's my little thank you at the top. So let's cover the ink pads up and add bubble bath, like so, and soft sea foam. So you could do these with the ink pads, you just have to be a little bit careful how you inked them up. So you could cover it up or just be very careful and ink up the edge. So let's put another one, might put another one in here, maybe just the top. And that's the benefit of using the pens, is you can just use a part of a stamp. Let's put this one up here. There we go. And I'll do the same thing, just ink up the top, and this time I'm just going to ink up half of it because I haven't got much space. So I'm going to do the bit on the left, which should be the bit on the right. There we go. And I'm going to put a bit more of this foliage down. There we go. Can't believe we're Thursday evening already, folks. Goodness me. There we go. And because it's just sort of a broken leaf, it's not too obvious if you overlap it and it doesn't quite fit. Right, there we go. That's so delicate, so different, isn't it? I'm hoping you can actually see it. Okay, now I'm going to add some little dots of ink. So I want to show you how you can do that. So you can do this with, I'm going to try it with the green. So let me show you on our little sample piece here. So it depends on how much ink you've got in your pen. So what you can do is take a bone folder or something like that, or another pen, and just flick down, and then there'll be tiny, so tiny, little bits of ink. You can also take the pen and your pen top and just flick it. Now I can see it, but it's so fine I don't think, well, I'm pretty sure you can't. Let's just try it with this one. Ah yes, you might be able to see this a bit better. So If I lift it up, I'm asking rather a lot. I don't know whether you can see that or not. Okay, let's do that here. So as long as you're sensible, you won't damage the tip. Don't go absolutely mad. There we go. It's got a little dot all the way over, and I'll just try it with this as well. There we go. Okay, the other thing you could do, if you're not happy doing that, is find yourself a stamp that has got little dots in it. Now we've got quite a few stamps that do that. The obvious one is Hello Irresistible. Which I must have got out somewhere. Because I was using it earlier. Here it is. So quite a lot of our stamps have little dotty stamps on them. So if you're not happy about doing that flicking, or you haven't got new pens that have got enough ink in them, then what you can do is just find yourself a dotty stamp. And I left this out because I hadn't cleaned it after I did that earlier card with the Lost Lagoon. And so you can just pick up some of the ink on there and again you can use your pens, just making sure this is clean. Yeah, so you can just ink up a section like so, and it gives the impression of movement when you add some of this, almost like it's sort of blowing in the wind. Let's just do that up here. There we go. So that is so fine and delicate. I'm not sure how much of that you can see. Okay, so let's do, so this is my base card. This is going to go onto there. So what I'm actually going to do is that same thing. I'm going to just bring Cassie in, because she's barking a little too much. I think what I will do is find some bubble bath cards. I've got an offcut here that I can use, and I'm going to stamp the dots in Fresh Freesia. So this will measure, that's definitely not straight, is it? Let's straighten that up. Hi Cassie. Oh no, she's had food. I'm trying to think why she's barking. So this is going to be 14.35 by 10, like so, which will just give me that layer behind. I could also use the soft sea foam, but I think this is going to be a really pretty feminine card. I'm going to use Fresh Freesia, so it's going to be a little bit darker, and I'm going to just use those same dots around the edge. And remember, when you're doing this, to turn your ink, turn your stamp round so you're not stamping the same pattern. I know this is quite random anyway. Okay. I like this particular set of dots because it covers quite a good area in one go. Okay, let's have a look and see. So the question is, do I put a little fresh freesia layer behind that, just to make it stand out. Let's have a quick look. Let's wrap a fresh freesia here. So like that, onto there. What do you think? It looks pretty, doesn't it? So with any luck, I left out a larger, oh, I don't want that one, it's too big. So that was the one I used, so I'm going to take the next size up. I love these deckled edge dies, but then all of our nesting dies, the stylish shapes, is the same. Will it go? No, it won't go that way. So I'm just going to die cut that. Excuse me 1 second. Just put this rather haphazardly on my chair. It's probably not a good idea. Find a plate. And I could also emboss this, but I think there's enough going on with my design that I probably don't need to add anything else. Okay, just putting that through, and I'm putting it through an angle so it doesn't make too much noise. If it makes a huge clicking noise, it's not ideal for your machine. Sometimes you can't help it, but if you can, try, hello Cassie, try and put it through at an angle like that, so you spread the pressure on your die cutting machine. Okay, so I've got this one, and that one. How pretty is that? Great colour choice, thank you Diane. I could use the green I suppose, but I'm quite liking that as it is. So making sure I've got this the right way around. I'm going to pop this one on first. There we go. And it's just coming up to nearly 8 o'clock, so that's perfect. So my plan is to do a longer session on a Thursday to make up for the fact that I'm not here Tuesday and Wednesday. So ideally 2 projects, it may be 2 cards, it might be something else. I'm going to pop this one flat. I don't think I have any bubble bath ribbon. And maybe it doesn't need it. Yeah, I think embossing it wouldn't have, you wouldn't see the embossing if I embossed that layer behind it. I think it would be well hidden. So this is going to go up on dimensionals. Just wonder whether to wrap some white baker's twine. Let's have a quick look. Now I've found all my baker's twine. See what you think, whether it needs it or not. What do we think? With or without? Yes, maybe I'll put it with, unless you say otherwise. Hello Cassie. She's desperate to go out for a walk. Let's attach it and see what we think. I can always just cut it off if we don't like it. we go. And then when I've finished here, I'm designing our project for tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. So this is our coffee and card and our stamp set for next week. See what you think. So with the ribbon, with the baker's twine or without, is all I'm asking. I know it's really pale. Let's see what you're saying. Yes, she likes that. Yes, okay. Okay, so I'm going to leave that on there. So just spread those out a little bit because it gives it a little bit more interest. Spread that out like that. Or not. There we go. And I'll pop that on with dimensionals. And we're done. So thank you so much. Just use all these edge pieces. And I do like a nice corner piece, even if there is a cat hair attached. Dear, sorry. And there we are. So the plan from here on in is that I will be here live Monday morning at 10 AM to show you our coffee and card design, and then I will be here Thursday at 7 PM with our stamp set or product of the week with a little bit more detailed crafting like we've done this evening. So there might be a fancy fold in there or a different technique. And then for anybody who's joined since the beginning, I'll just show you the other cards from the week. There we go. So this is inked and tile. Two very different looks, very different colour palettes. And very different look, I think. Okay. So what I will do is I'll put this in with the stamp set, and I'll write on the back the colours that I've used. So if I want to create this later on, I have it in the stamp set ready. So this is the one that we've just done now. So thank you for your input. Really pretty, really pretty. And if I can find some, ooh, yes, some bling to match. I just need to find another one of these, but I know I've got them, so I'll just put two on for now. Let's grab my pokey tool. Oh, if we go in the middle there. One, two, and then I'll add another one in here in that little gap. So that's the one we've just done. This is the one that we did earlier today using the Stampin' Up marker pens exclusively. That's the inside and the envelope. And then this is the one that I did yesterday. So I used the same punches to punch out the two shapes, but I just stepped it up and added some gold embossing, some of that lovely ribbon, and this one opens that way around. And then I added this one using the punches and the embossing folders. If you can see that different embossing. And then this one, just taking it across the page based on a similar one that Sarah Douglas did, and then this is where I started for Coffee and Card. So you can see the progression from just doing a panel to changing the layout, adding some embossing, doing some heat embossing, and also this is textured as well, and then the two that we've done this evening, so all from the same combination. So let me just make sure there's no comments. It was a lot of punching. Thank you, Fran. So yeah, so there we go. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you like the designs. I hope it's given you some inspiration. And our Coffee and Card will come out tomorrow for our Coffee and Card at Brackley. Do you want a sneak peek as to what it might look like? So it's going to be based on this, using the brand new Trucking Along stamp set and Punch, which is one of our online exclusives. So we're doing just a slightly simpler variation for Coffee and Card. So for those of us that can join us, this can be Christmas, birthday, any occasion really, depending on what you want to make it into. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate your company and your patience with me. Thank you, Cassie, for your patience. Not that there was that much of it. So I'm off to take her out for a walk before it starts raining again. Dry at the minute. I look forward to seeing some of you for Coffee and Card tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. And in the meantime, have a great weekend and look after yourselves and your loved ones. And I look forward to catching up with you really soon. Bye for now. Take care. Bye bye.